Immigration is another potential sticky issue for you in the GOP base.
That's what I heard.
And you told our own Shannon Bream not long ago that it's not a felony, illegal immigration, it's an act of love. You said lots of crimes are committed out of love. That's my question to you. It doesn't stop their prosecution. So what is it about illegal immigration?
I think illegal immigration ought to be punished by coming out from the shadows, earning legal status over an extended period of time where you pay a fine, where you work, where you don't receive government assistance, where you learn English, where you don't, where you're deported if you commit a crime, as is the law. There are very few other options that I can see. The option of self-deportation or making things so harsh is not really, I don't think that's practical. And rounding people up door to door isn't practical either. We need to enforce the laws of our country for sure. Enforce the border. 40% of illegal immigrants come with a legal visa and just stay. We ought to be able to figure that out. There's a lot of things we need to do, but a practical solution of getting to fixing the legal system is also allowing for a path to legalized status, not necessarily citizenship.
Let me ask you about that, yeah, because is that a distinction in your mind? Because I know
sure.
Before you've said that you would support a path to citizenship. That was in 2012 to Charlie Rose.
No, I've said as long as if that was the way to get to a deal where we turned immigration into a catalyst for high sustained economic growth, where we did all the things we need to do in border security, where we narrowed the number of people coming through family petition and dramatically expanded a like-kind number for economic purposes, which will help us grow and help the median rise up. In return for that, as a compromise, sure. But the plan in our book and the plan that I've suggested when I go out and speak, which is almost every day on this subject, I'm talking about a path to legalized status.
Got it. What about when you were governor of Florida, you supported driver's licenses for in-state illegal immigrants. You also supported in-state tuition rates for the children of illegal immigrants. And your critics say, well, those are magnets. That will encourage more illegal immigration.
Well, it didn't happen in Florida. I proposed support of a state senator's bill that never even got a hearing. As it relates to in-state tuition, it passed this year. A conservative Republican legislature, led by a very courageous Speaker of the House, Will Weatherford, passed this, and the governor signed it into law. It didn't happen under my watch, but I supported that. Because if you've been here for an extended period of time, you have no nexus to the country of your parents, what are we supposed to do? Marginalize these people forever? I mean, there's got to be a point where we fix this system so that legal immigration is easier than illegal immigration, and show some respect for people, a kid that might have been here 10 years, that may be a valedictorian of their high school, to say, no, 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 you're not allowed to go to college. I just think there's a point past which we're over the line. I do understand and respect people's sentiments and frustrations about this broken system, and I totally understand why people are upset when Barack Obama, with just a stroke of a pen through executive action, takes unconstitutional actions.
What about that? Would you reverse that if you became president?
Absolutely, I would.
Because I talked to Marco Rubio about this. He had said, look, it's going to be very difficult to undo that once all these folks are here, and, if that legal challenge to his action does not succeed. By
the way, I think it will succeed.
Mm-hmm. But how would you undo it once those folks are here?
Passing meaningful reform of immigration and make it part of it.
Would you support the Senate bill that did not pass?
I would have had a different bill that was based on the, my deeply held views on this, but I would have supported that to get beyond this, sure. And it was a bill that I think there should have been more efforts made to get something like that passed. The criticisms of the bill, in my mind, was way too complex, hard to understand, but they made a good effort to narrow family petitioning and expand economic immigrants, which is what we need to do. 15% of the immigrants coming to our country come for economic purposes. In Canada, there are more economic immigrants than the United States, and they have 1/10 our population. Which system is going to be the one that creates investment and job growth and income growth and productivity growth? Ours, which has family as the driver of legal immigration, or Canada's?
This is another area where folks say, I like Jeb Bush, but how can he ever get through the GOP primary with this position on immigration? You know that there's a core wing of the party for whom this will be a deal breaker.
I don't know that. I've been traveling over the last 3 months, and I get a sense that a lot of people can be persuaded, to be honest with you. But here's the deal, Megyn. If I go beyond the consideration of running to be an actual candidate, Do you want people to just bend with the wind, to mirror people's sentiment, whoever's in front of you? Oh, yes, I used to be for that, but now I'm for this. Is that the way we want to elect presidents? Running for president is tough. Serving as president, which should be the objective, is a little harder. Dealing with Putin is a heck of a lot harder than going to a town meeting in New Hampshire and explaining your views on immigration.